welcome back to day 2 of the greenhouse build. If you're keeping track, it is a high tunnel, not a greenhouse, but that's just semantics. Gonna serve the same purpose. So I'll briefly walk you through all the stuff we screwed up yesterday. So first thing, we had a heck of a time getting everything square and measured out properly because we're not actually dirt farmers, we're rock farmers, and everywhere we dig, there are always rocks. This has been the case for this whole orchard. This has been the case anytime we put a pole in or a post in anywhere there are rocks. We've got this great gas-powered auger, which works on a lot of small rocks, but not on the bigger rocks. It'll get stuck. So what we were running into yesterday was rocks, of course, because why wouldn't we? So I'll walk you over here and show you a cool tool that I got. This is the bigger one, but this is like an auger bit that goes right on your drill. I have a thinner one, and that's what I was using to get all these post holes started. So I can at least see if there's a huge rock right underneath the surface, which there wasn't for most, that long one, and then there's a couple over there that are still pretty long. We couldn't tell if we were just running out of elbow grease at the end of the day in order to drive them, or if there were rocks underneath them. So we're going to try again this morning. This one, however, there was a really big rock underneath. So we tried the little auger, we tried pounding the post. All it did was bend the post. Pulled it out with the tractor. That's the end of it, so you can see there was a pretty significant rock under there. It wasn't for lack of trying, this is not going to go any farther. So in order to make our posts level and square, we dug down with the gas-powered auger as far as we could go to see if this rock that we were doing that with was removable. It was not, so we ended up measuring the difference, cutting about 6 inches off the post, and we just cemented the heck out of this thing. So it is not going anywhere. It's probably the sturdiest post we're going to have in here because it's cemented in. So hopefully it does its job. So we've got the corners done. We've got almost all the ground posts at least started, except for this mess in here. So the other thing that we screwed up, that I screwed up and convinced my husband that it was right, was I didn't read the instructions very well. So let me walk you down here. I'll show you what I mean. In the instructions, there are these little purlin like holders. In the instructions, it says to slide them on. I thought it would be something that I could kind of clip on the top, like after. Definitely not. This is something you definitely have to slide on, and by slide I mean start on and then hit with a hammer until you get it to where you need to go, because it does not really slide. So you have to put one, these are the end rafters, so one goes there, one goes down there, and one's on this other arch here, and those are going to hold like the purlins or the spine that kind of stabilize everything. So those don't slide on easy, FYI. So what I did yesterday was, in the effort of expediency, was I convinced my husband that we should put all these arches together so we can kind of see how wide it's going to be and everything. So we got them all together. We didn't screw anything in, but then I read the instructions a little closer, and again, you cannot clip these over the top, you have to slide them on. So what we had to do was take everything apart, and now I get to go through and slide all of these purlin holders on. So don't do that. I think that's everything we screwed up yesterday. It was a very long day because we made so many mistakes. The other thing was, you can see a little GoPro over there. Hi, GoPro. The other mistake was this really wasn't level. My husband said it was. I kind of believed him until I really got out here looking at it, and it is not level. It's hard to see from here, but where that GoPro is, initially had about a foot of rise difference from that post and from this post over here. So he had to do a little bit of digging over there to level it up as much as possible. And in the interest of time, I think digging takes longer than filling. So he leveled it out as best he could over there. And now what we're doing, now that we've run our string line through the hole, the bottom hole of all the corner posts, we can see how level everything is, and he's just gonna backfill. So we are there. That post is as far down as it's supposed to go, and then I ran that string line all the way over to that one, and that is level. So now we have to bring the dirt up a little bit to get higher to that spring. I hope that makes sense. And then the same thing in that back corner. We're gonna have to bring the dirt up so that it's more level with that post back there, because it's gonna be easier to fill than to dig. It took about half an hour to dig that little pile because this ground is so dry and so rocky. So we're just gonna fill it in, and it'll sit a little bit higher than the ground around it, which isn't ideal, but what are you gonna do, right? So I think that's all my tips and tricks from this high tunnel build. Wish us luck as we do hopefully a little bit more work today. I'm out here early before everybody else, hopefully to get a little bit of work done and do all my swearing and cursing and muttering by myself before anyone has the opportunity to hear me. So stay tuned for the rest of day 2, and then hopefully day 3 will be it. We'll see. Probably not.
So you'll notice us here just kind of standing around these two particular posts. That's because we found the two biggest rocks in the world. We were able to get one rock out of the left side on your screen. By we, I mean my husband took a jackhammer to it and was able to get through it enough that we only had to cut off some of the post to put in there and then cement it. The one on your right where most of people are standing, I think we just actually reached like the center of the earth. That is just the earth. It's not going to move ever. So we had to cut off a significant amount of the ground post in order to cement that sucker in. Probably not going to go anywhere. So grand total of 3 posts that had to be cemented in because there was just nothing else we can do. So not ideal, but it is what it is.